Raiders, still my favorite movie of all time. No debate. It's the best movie ever. So I've always wanted to. It's one of those things like, what's on your bucket list? Like, oh, I want to make an Indiana Jones game.
2 years ago, Bethesda released a teaser trailer for a future Indiana Jones game from Todd Howard and Machine Games. But even after all this time, we are still yet to receive any gameplay or even a sense of what the gameplay will be. But we're going to take a look at what Todd Howard has to say about the project and try and see if we can figure it out.
It is a mashup. It is a unique, it isn't one thing intentionally. So it does a lot of different things that, myself and Yurik and the folks at Machine Games have wanted to do in a game. So it's a unique thing.
So the game is going to combine elements from different genres according to Howard. So let's lay out all the options we could be seeing here. Since the arrival of 3D gaming, Indiana Jones has been a strictly third-person action-adventure series. But it does have roots in the genre of point-and-click graphic adventures, which would require finding and using items and branching dialogue trees, similar to the types of games that Todd Howard was famous for. Games like Fallout 3, Skyrim, and Starfield fall into the action role-playing genre with huge open worlds full of optional side quests. But the specific studio developing the new indie game is Machine Games. They are best known for their series of Wolfenstein games, starting with 2014's The New Order. Todd Howard's recent comments may give us a big clue.
The internal team that I had not only didn't have the time, they probably weren't as good a fit as Machine Games, who's done the Wolfenstein series, who is the perfect fit for this game with storytelling and how they record it. And it's awesome. They're just doing an incredible job with that game.
While there are cutscenes used, Wolfenstein often lets players play the story moments. In a memorable part of the first game, you and your team are stuck in a room with an incinerator about to fire up, and you have to search and find the key to open the door in time. You experience the entire sequence in-game in real time, including the startling moment you notice that a crazy Nazi scientist is watching you and has you trapped. You then have to choose which of your teammates becomes the Nazis' new test subject, a decision which has an effect on the rest of the game. Instead of an open world, each game is structured as a series of levels, though there are optional side quests within each level. Now, as you may have noticed, Wolfenstein is a series of first-person shooters. Fallout and Skyrim feature the option of both first-person and third-person. Now, it seems like an Indiana Jones game should be third-person because of the fist fighting and the whip. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb had an excellent fighting mechanic, standard in many third-person action games, where you lock onto a target and perform different combos. But I do love first-person shooters, and it would be cool to have that option as Indiana Jones. But how about having the best of both worlds? A Gears of War style camera in which the view is fixed over the right shoulder could be a good option here. And it's said that the LucasArts version of Staff of Kings at one point was going to use this camera type. I think we will be getting some big areas to explore. Remember Raiders of Lost Ark, where you had this massive excavation being run by the Nazis, but then you had Indy running around doing things in little corners here or there. I think the game will be something like this, where you have a large explorable area which is under enemy control, but there are a lot of nooks and crannies for you to search for items and solve puzzles. The game obviously won't be a true open world, but I wonder if it'll be like the old graphic adventure type games where you can freely travel from one location to another whenever you please. And how will the whip be incorporated exactly? The fighting mechanic in Emperor's Tomb made great use of the whip in third person, but the 2021 game Phantom Abyss proves that a whip can be used for first person platforming. Based on Todd Howard's comments, I definitely think this game is going to have a unique feel, and it's hard to say what the gameplay will be like at this stage, but my predictions as of now: the game will use an over-the-shoulder Gears of War style camera, having Indy use his fists, whip, and guns, while exploring huge locations, collecting items, and solving puzzles. Many story moments will unfold within the gameplay, and Indy will interact with NPCs through branching dialogue options. That's just my thoughts, of course. I'd definitely like to know your thoughts down below. Hopefully this is the summer where we finally get to learn some big things about this game, so do make sure you hit like and subscribe so I can keep you informed of that. Thanks so much for watching today, and I wish you all fortune and glory. Bye bye now.